About 6 months ago, I bought a camera just like this on Amazon, and it worked out pretty good for the money. It was about $50, and I decided I needed a second one, so I jumped back on Amazon and I found this one, and so I thought I'd give it a shot, and I'm going to show you what it looks like here, so let's do some unboxing. Comes with a card of thanks. I see this happen a lot with products these days, where if you review the product, kind of like what I'm doing, but you can get a free item and you can rate your experience and they'll give you a little kickback for it. It's always nice to know that it's a give and take relationship. It comes with a manual, and it's pretty thick because it covers English, Deutsch, French, Italian, and Spanish. Alright, here's the main unit. I'll save that for later. We'll get to that in a second. The box is empty. Comes with a USB cable. These are in case you need to put this into drywall or concrete, and that's what it's for, the plate. And this mounts there, so you can mount it on a wall or a tree. I wouldn't recommend the tree for a tree. I'd recommend using the strap that it comes with. And here it is. So what I liked about this is that it's, like I said, just like the one that I have before that I liked, and it worked out pretty good overall, but it has a few more things. It has a little bit better camera, a little bit better trigger time, and more sensors. Obviously, the one that I have before just has one, now it has two, so it detects a little bit better from the side. IP56 waterproof, so it can handle rain no problem. 1080p or 720p video recording, 75-foot trigger distance. It's a little bit better than the one I had before, so it's also good. A little bit faster trigger speed, 0.3 to 0.5. 20 megapixel still image resolution, 2.4-inch display, which I'll show you in a second. 20 meters of range, that's for the IR LED, the infrared lights. 120 degrees of the sensor, right there. And 6 months of standby time with a full battery. Not bad, not bad. Has a before you start card. This is almost exactly like my previous one, which is good. I like the previous one that I have overall. So batteries go in there. You can use, if it's the same, you can use 4 or you can use 8. I recommend using 8. That's how you get the 6 month out of it. There is a waterproof gasket right here. And of course, you know, the screen, the buttons, and everything you need. The only thing that it doesn't have that I'm not a fan of, that it does have, that's like the previous one, that I'm not a fan of, is that the SD card that it doesn't come with is mounted in the bottom. So when you have this strapped to a tree and you want to remove the SD card, if you're standing in tall grass, which I usually am, and you want to remove the SD card, you have to push it, and it's hard to get your fingers in there and pull it out without dropping it into the grass, and you could lose it. So what I do is I actually take just a standard bucket or a cup or even just a piece of paper, and I hold it underneath for when I'm removing the SD card. That way, if it falls and I don't grab it, it doesn't get lost in the sand, or in the grass, or the sand, depending on where you use it. So it has protective lenses on everything, which I'll take off in a little bit. But overall, it feels pretty sturdy. It feels about just as good as some of the higher priced ones. Obviously, it can't compare to the super high priced ones, but for basic backyard use, wildlife capturing, and also, you know, you can use it to use for home security and just kind of log what's going on in your home. These are great. I'm glad I have a second one now because they're so versatile. You can move them anywhere. You can put them on a stake, put them on a ground. I actually have mine to my light post in the front yard just for kicks to see how they work. It's kind of fun looking at some of the wildlife that comes by in the middle of the night that you never thought would be. So there you have it. I'm going to go and mount it and see if I can get some footage, and then I'll provide it here in this video. But otherwise, not a bad item for the $50 give or take that it costs. Let's see if we can find some footage. So as you can see, it does a pretty good job and it's pretty clear. Night vision isn't quite so good, but then again, sometimes it gets foggy where the camera's mounted. I also need to turn down the sensitivity because a lot of, you can see the trees, the leaves on the trees the movement would trigger it. So you can turn down the sensitivity. There are a lot of different settings on it, as indicated in the manual. But it does the job. It picks me up mowing my yard, so that means it'll pick up some wildlife that go back there in my backyard. For the money, for the quality, it's pretty decent for a good starter basic wildlife camera.